What is going on, YouTube world? Pinora Picker here. Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while. Hey, so to give you some backstory here, I'm a part of two different Facebook groups, both of which specifically revolve around Farmall Cubs. I think one is Farmall Cubs and one is like Farmall Cubs maintenance or repair. But there is a question that so often gets asked, and I thought that I would show a video on how to answer that question, since there really isn't a good video out there that I have found. And that question is, how do I prime the oil pump on a Farmall Cub? Well, to give you the answer, I'm first going to take you to the manual and I'm going to show you two different ways. That is the more common ways to do that. So let's flip the camera around. So right here, this is the service manual for the Farmall Cub. If you don't have one, you need one. Go buy one. So it says right here that there is an 1/8" pipe plug located at the rear left side of the crank house. The crankcase near the top of the flywheel housing gives access to the pump for priming. This priming should only be necessary when the pump has been assembled dry or after long periods of storage where the pump may have drained completely. So to show you what it's talking about, let's walk over here to my 1955 Farmall Cub. She's a great little tractor. Love this thing. But if you look where that's talking about, on the left-hand side, right down here, and you can't hardly see it on mine, but in between these two hydraulic lines, you might can see it if I move it down here. I don't know if you can still see it or not, but right in between these two hydraulic lines, there is an Allen plug that gives you access to priming the pump. So here's where the problem comes in with this. If you notice, the two hydraulic lines on my tractor are directly in the way of getting access to that plug. And so I had another tractor, I think it was a 59 or a 57. It was completely dry, and they had let it sit for years without oil in it. They had drained the oil completely. And when I went to go prime the pump, I had to take the entire hydraulic line setup off the tractor, attempt to prime the pump, and then reinstall the hydraulic lines. I did not reinstall the hydraulic lines the first time, and it made a mess everywhere. Learned my mistake. Well, I did not have luck doing that, but apparently a lot of people do. That is what the manual says, and you can take whatever weight oil you're using, whether that be 15, 40, 30 weight, or even sometimes higher viscosities like 80, 90, like if you have any gear oil like I do down there, there's some 80, 90. But that is the manual way of making sure that you can prime the pump. Now, there is a second way. So let me take you over here again to the tractor. I'm sure if you have a Cub by now, you know what this is. Right here on the right-hand side of the tractor, this is your oil filter casing. This is where your oil filter is. And so if you look inside of this, if you were to take the nut off, take that bolt out, take the fuel filter out, or the oil filter out regular, there should be a hole in there. That is the inlet for where the oil comes out of. A lot of people have had luck priming the oil pump that way. Now, I will be honest, when I tried to prime my oil pump that way on that other tractor, it did not work. But let me show you what I'm talking about. So here's a diagram, again, in the official, Farmall Cub tractor manual. Again, if you don't have one of these, get you one. They're on eBay, fairly cheap. But if you look at this right here, there is the inlet hole. It says it right there, the oil inlet right there. So if you take the bolt off, the whole thing comes out, the filter comes out, and a lot of people can take some oil, regular engine oil, whatever they're using in their tractor, and they squirt several squirts down this hole right here, and sometimes that lets you prime the pump, and that gets you luck. Now again, for me, I did not have that luck at all whatsoever on my Cub. So the last Cub that I had, it had been sitting so long, and truthfully, I think it had bigger issues. I did get it to run, but I could never get the pump primed at all, no matter what I tried. I tried priming it, I tried all these other things that I could think of. Nothing worked for me, but for the majority of people, priming it from either one of those sides should work. So if you've had a Cub that has set only for a little bit, still has oil in it, but you're having trouble getting oil pressure, try one of those two holes, right? You could either do it on the left-hand side of the tractor behind the hydraulic lines, or you can take that oil filter out, put some oil down the oil filter. That tends to work for most people. Hey, I hope this video has been informative. I know that this would have been a great video for me a few years ago when I had gotten my first Cub and was wondering how in the world do I prime this oil pump. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you find it informative, please let me know. And yeah, don't run your tractor without oil pressure. That's not good. You'll probably blow it up, or it'll just stop. That's not a good thing. Then you'll have a big problem. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you like it, leave a thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe if you want. I appreciate it, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.